She didn't look up from her desk when I told her he died, just clicked her pen shut. "You'll need to choose," she said. Her voice was even, hollow, between work and your family. My jaw clenched, not because of the words, but the ease with which she said them, as if losing my father was a scheduling inconvenience. 4 days. I asked for 4 days, not to grieve, not to rest, just to bury him with dignity. She didn't hesitate. No. I nodded, turned, walked out of her office, didn't say a word. But that night, I moved something worth $3.8 million to a place she would never reach. The thing about betrayal is, it's not always loud. Sometimes it wears perfume, shares your bed, signs your checks with a kiss. She used to say we built everything together, but slowly the word "we" disappeared, and it became hers, her company, her name on the documents, her vision. I was just the man behind the code, the silent architect of her empire. Then I started noticing things. Board meetings I wasn't invited to. Decisions made without a whisper in my direction. Contracts with my digital signature, I never signed them. At first I thought I was paranoid. Then I saw the transfer. A shell company I never approved. My proprietary algorithm licensed to a foreign buyer for $3.8 million. Sold, without my consent. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is for the desperate. I went quiet, tracked the paper trail. Emails, signatures, timestamps. She had used my credentials, my encrypted access, but I was the one who wrote the system. What she didn't know was that I built in back doors, quiet keys only I held. So I followed the money, traced the account, the licensing deal, the forged authorization chain. It was elegant and cruel. She'd already filed to change our business structure, rewritten the ownership splits. If I'd signed one more line, I'd have lost everything. Then came the final blow, a revised prenup, left casually on my desk, unmistakable. She wasn't just cutting me out of the company, she was preparing to cut me out of the marriage. I stared at the document. Then I smiled. Because the moment she denied me those 4 days, she declared war. The next week I acted normal, brought her coffee in the morning, sat through strategy meetings, watched her parade around like a queen. But in the background, I unraveled everything. I pulled the licensing contract, gathered proof of her forgery, bank transfers, metadata, login timestamps, and then one line of code. That's all it took to trigger the kill switch, to pull the $3.8 million algorithm out from under her. It didn't delete it, I'm not stupid, I just moved it to a secure vault, encrypted, untouchable, and every company tied to it, frozen. I handed the judge a sealed file the next morning. My attorney sat beside me, silent. My wife and her counsel opened the documents, and I watched her mask crack. "No comment?" I asked. She didn't answer, but the look in her eyes, that was enough. That evening she came home, late, silent. The air was different now. She could feel it. I poured a drink, didn't look at her. "You knew," she said softly. I sipped, said nothing. "You've ruined everything." "No," I said. "You did." She walked to the kitchen, picked up the prenup I'd signed, the original one, not her revised draft. "You'll regret this," she whispered. I met her gaze, calm. "I already do. Regret ever believing we were building something together." I stood, handed her one final envelope. Inside was the resignation letter, hers, pre-signed, backdated. The final clause of our original agreement: if she forged my signature for personal gain, she forfeited her equity. She never read that far. I had. The house is quieter now. The silence isn't peaceful, but it's honest. I buried my father without her, next to the man who taught me to never raise my voice, but always finish the sentence. I don't hate her. I just see her now for who she is and who I've stopped pretending to be. She thought I'd break, but I don't break. I erase, and I start again, without her, without apology, and without leaving a trace.